Thinking of buying a new launch or a resale property, the numbers might shock you. I compared both options, Lentor Hills Residences versus Panorama, to see which actually costs more in the long run. And today, I'm breaking it all down for you. I'll compare my actual purchase at Lentor Hills Residences with an alternative resale unit at Panorama. We'll go step by step through costs, pros and cons, and key takeaways, so you can make the best decisions for yourself. So let me give you a background of what happened. Back in 2023, I bought a 3-bedroom unit at Lentor Hills Residences. If I were to go back in time and also consider a resale unit at Panorama, how things would look like differently at that time right now. So one of the units that was sold in 2023 October period was this unit at 1.88 million, 1012 square feet, whereas the unit that I bought is 1.863. So it takes about 3 years to build for new launch, and the size is 958, and for resale is 1012, where you can move in immediately. So the pros and cons of buying a resale is that you can move in immediately, that's number one, and then you can start living or renting it out, so you don't need to rent in between this period. However, the cons is that you must start to pay the full monthly installment immediately, and also you must pay the property tax and maintenance fee, and there are some renovation costs that is required as well. So however, if you were to buy a new launch, the pros is that you are getting a brand new unit from the developer, and there is a 1-year defect warranty period as well. And then there is a higher potential capital appreciation of the unit. Then thirdly, you are paying a progressive payment, which means to say that there is lower payment right at the start. Okay, so and then for the cons of it is that you need rent for these 3 years in between, and it takes time to build also. So let's calculate the cost basis, whether is it better to buy a resale or buy a new launch. Let's have some assumption. We are calculating the cost for 5 years, and we assume it takes 3 years to build. The objective at the end of the day is to calculate for this 5 years period, which is more costly. Okay, so when it comes to resale, let's say 1.88 million, you take a 75% loan, it's at $6,332 for the monthly repayment. However, there is this thing called the interest and the principal component. So the interest component is roughly about 3,916. I take that as the 25th month mark. What is the interest? And we can use that as an average. So average, you are paying to the bank interest of 3,916 per month. So with that monthly loan, we know that is 3,916. We also need to find out the property tax. Property tax probably could be around $600 a year based on the annual value that I know. And then the maintenance, roughly we take at about $350. Renovation cost, I just take the minimum amount of about $20,000. Okay, so within the 5 years of resale, if we take 3,916 times 60 months, then that is about $234,960, and that is the cost to pay for the interest on the loan itself. And then the property tax, $600 a year times 5 years, that is $3,000. And maintenance fee is $350 a month times 5 years, then that's $21,000. And estimated renovation $20,000. Total cost is about $278,960. So this is for resale, $278,000, quite a huge amount. Okay, for new launch, it's a progressive payment. What does that mean? It means that at the start of the building, you pay for just the foundation, and the amount that you pay is only $444 per month. So for interest, it's only about $310. So during the time that I bought, the loan interest is about 4%. So I'll use 4% as a calculation. Okay, and just now the interest that I use for resale is 3.5%, slightly lower. Okay, so basically we just assume that year 1 to year 4, all of it is 4%. So there is easier calculation also. So for 6 months, we can see that the interest is 310. Then if we go further down, reinforced concrete, it will start to go down to 931. Further down to brick wall, it's 1242, followed by ceiling is 1552, and so on and so forth. So this is the breakdown. So it's 1.863 million is the purchase price. Loan is 1.41 at 30 years of 4% interest rate. So this is the total calculations that we are doing. 6 months at 311 for foundation. Then for reinforced concrete, it's 6 months of 931, and so on and so forth. So total amount that we see is 27,954. This is the interest that we need to pay to the bank to borrow money, basically. So what is the cost breakdown? So for the first 2 years is roughly 27,954, which is what I calculated just now. And then for the when it TOP, it's 12 months period of monthly installment as well. Yeah, it's 3726 times 12, that's 44,000. And when it's CAC, then there is the year 4 to year 5 period, then there is another 4658 times 12. Total is 55,896. So if we add all this loan interest up, it'll be 27 plus 44 plus 55. Total loan interest is 128,562. So then, of course, during these 3 years, you need to rent, because this 3 years period, you need to stay somewhere else, because you would have sold away your existing property and you need to move into the new PUC that you bought, Lentor Hills that you bought. So during these 3 years, let's say for example, I go and rent a unit at Panorama, 3-bedroom, and that's at $5,000 a month, and times 36 months, and that's total 180,000. So if I use 180,000 plus the previous cost of 128,562 that I've calculated, total is 308,562. So you can see that the difference is quite small. One is 278, one is 308,562. So at the end of the day, you want to lower your cost for new launch is possible. One of the options is that you can consider staying with your parents. So maybe you pay your parents a slightly lower rental amount for the room that you rent. That's one way that I'm doing right now. Or if not, you can consider renting a smaller house like a HDB, which is probably 2005, 2008, $3,000 itself. Then you reduce your rental amount, and overall the amount will be lower for new launch. Or another possibility is that you can consider your spouse buying a resale house, and you guys stay in the resale house while your name is used to buy the new launch. That's also another possibility as well. So at the end of the day, there's no right, no wrong, but you need to understand the investment potential. Resale property appreciation may be slightly lower because it's an older development, yeah, but whereas for new launch property, everything is all brand new, the future price appreciation would be faster and better than a resale property. So, and at the end of the day, also market timing plays an important role. So what are the final thoughts? Resale has lower upfront costs but requires full immediate payment. Okay, long term, for new launch, you have better appreciation, but you need to rent while waiting. So the right choice really depends on you. At the end of the day, usually for new launch, the capital appreciation will be a lot higher. That's why people don't mind renting a property during this period. However, for people who buy resale, they are not so inclined on renting. So they might as well just buy a resale property and consider moving in. So now that you have seen the numbers, which one would you choose? The new launch or resale? Let me know in the comments. But what if you are thinking about buying a condo for investment? Will you actually make money renting it out? Find out in my next video. Click here to watch.